Hello. All right, just putting in the chat that the personal reading list is open. I hope you all are doing well. All right, there we go. Yeah. Happy New Year to everybody. I don't know if yeah. Happy New Year. It's like, did I say anything for New Year's to the people? Like, no, I don't think I did. Happy New Year to everyone. If I haven't said anything, I'll say it again during the spring equinox when it is the actual New Year. But I hope everybody is doing well. I'm getting my list together so we can start. Just as a reminder, if you are new to this is a personal reading session. And first, I will take care of the people who pre-booked their readings. So they went ahead and sent me an email to let me know that they want a reading with their screenshot of their payment. So we're going to take care of them first. And if others come in and they want readings, they can get them as well. But everybody has to follow. I get this thing together. Follow directions. Everything is in the description box. If you want to get a personal reading, it's in the description box. So I got my list together. Everything is also confidential. I will refer to the clients by their number, and you will know your number because I will email you what number you are after you send me the email with the requested information if you want a reading. Yeah. So we'll get started with the timestamp from client number 1. We had 3:38. Okay. All right, client number 1. Let's see what you say. I'm a Taurus, and I saw your readings from a while back about removing blockages to align with your purpose. That specific reading didn't resonate, and that's okay, as we all know. But you really like the fact that I did a reading like that, and other readings that I've done did resonate. Oh, that's awesome. You're at the point in your life where you want to align with your purpose. And your question is if there is a blockage keeping you from aligning with your purpose. If so, what is it? Okay. So you have 2 questions here, client 1. Let's get started then. Let's find out. Let's see what the cards say. Okay. All right. Is there A blockage keeping client one from aligning with their purpose. Is there a blockage? This is a very good question too, client one. Is there a blockage keeping client one from aligning with their purpose? Is there a blockage keeping client one from aligning with their purpose? Okay. Is there a blockage keeping client one from aligning with their purpose? All right, here we go. Is there a blockage keeping client one from aligning with the, ooh, you see how that jumped out? We're gonna, because the first one is your first question is a yes, no. I'm using my 3-card spread for that. First one is yes with the Magician in reverse. Second one, client one, is no. And the third one is no. So no, essentially, client one, there isn't anything keeping you from aligning with your purpose. At the bottom of the deck, I have the Emperor here. So this is your energy, client one. Or you're going more so into this energy. Spirit is saying that you need to have a little more self-discipline. I don't know if you are coming into your spirituality, if you have been on this path for a while, and maybe it's been something that you've done off and on. It happens, it's life, but Spirit is saying with the Emperor here that you could use a little more discipline in your spiritual walk to align with your purpose, because you are being supported right now. You really are. Let's see. Let's go to this again. The Magician in reverse, the 8 of Cups, and the Tower came out to essentially say that there isn't anything blocking you when it comes to aligning with your purpose. If anything, you are blocking you, essentially, because this is about, like with the Emperor and the Magician here, even though it's in reverse, this is Magician in reverse is about not having discipline. And so that's there again, where you may need to become a little more intentional about what you want to do, intentional about how you walk. If you're meditating, are you being intentional about, are you doing it on purpose, daily? Have you started off small and then worked your way up? Because sometimes we have a tendency to bite off more than we can chew. Like you don't meditate, and you want to start meditating, and you start off trying to meditate for a whole hour. That's not for everybody. Sometimes you got to start off with, being still for a whole minute. Your life. But again, this is about, being more intentional and disciplining yourself to listen. The Tower is here, and the Tower is about certain sudden changes, but it's also about spiritual growth. So this is requiring you to make that change. And to actually be intentional about breaking down those misconceptions that you may have about your purpose, about yourself, about spirituality, about your walk, about what has to be and what really isn't. I mean, because we put a lot of rules on ourselves, and we have a tendency to focus on guilt and shame that we've been taught, and with the 8 of Cups and how this person has walked away from the cups. This is about abandoning conditioning. So yeah, essentially, no, there's no blockage. Client one, there's no blockage at all. There's no blockage for you. But we'll get some advice though. Let's get some advice here. Get this cards. What is the advice? Get this deck. I'm being led to a different deck as well. And then we'll go back to another deck of tarot. What's the advice for client one regarding aligning with their purpose? What's the advice for client one regarding aligning with their purpose? Yeah, there's no outside forces keeping you from aligning with your purpose, client one. Interestingly enough, and that's good news. That's good news, because everybody can't say that. Everybody can't say that. All right. So what advice is there for client one, Spirit? What advice do you have for client one to align with their purpose? What advice do you have for client one? The only person you need to validate you is you, client one. The only person you need to validate you is you. You don't have to get advice from other people unless these people are experts in something that you need to know. But when it comes to your worth, your self-worth, you are worthy. You are powerful. You don't need anybody outside of yourself to validate you. What else for client one, please, regarding them aligning with their purpose? What else for client one? Ooh. Live your life for you, client one. There's a lot of outside going on here. The fact that this first message came up from Spirit about, the only person you need to validate you is you. And then the second one being live your life for you. Client one, it seems like there needs to be more work on healing that part of you that doesn't feel worthy, that doesn't feel like you are enough. Because you are. You are enough. Any more from this deck, Spirit? Okay. So what else, advice-wise? What else, advice-wise, for client one? Hello, Arouge. Yes, this is a paid reading. If you like a personal reading, you can see the description box for details. What else for client one? What else for client one regarding their advice for aligning with their purpose? What other advice is there for client one regarding aligning with their purpose? What other advice is there for client one in regards to aligning with their purpose? And then we'll let you go. What other advice is there for client one regarding aligning with their purpose? Yes. What other advice is there for client one regarding aligning with their purpose? What other advice is there for client one regarding aligning with their purpose? All right. We have the 10 of Pentacles. There's the 8 of Cups again. Client one, this is a recurring theme for you. And we have the 3 of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Arrows, or the 8 of Swords here. This is all about you, client one. This is like you are putting yourself into a prison. I don't know if this has a lot to do with conditioning on how you grew up or anything like that, but this is more so about you setting yourself up. Like you can, the pentacles are out here. When you align, there's money in it for you. But in between the 10 of Pentacles and in between the 3 of Pentacles, 13 Pentacles all together, is the 8 of Cups. It's like emotionally, you get in your own way. You start something and then it's like, maybe if you miss a day of doing something, you're like, I'm doing it wrong. I give up. It's that discouragement when that is all conditioning. Is for example, when people are on trying to change their lifestyle, changing the way they're eating, their eating habits, how they work out, doing the things, the whole New Year rigmarole. It's like if they miss something, they talk down to themselves. And we have been taught to do that over and over again when we shouldn't. It's one of those things where we feed guilt and shame into ourselves and it becomes a cycle. And that's what this 8 of Cups means to me. That's why, we have these other messages coming out for you from Spirit that says, live your life. They tell you that the only person that you need validation from is you, because your purpose is there. And in order to get to that, you have to be willing to do the work. And that means walking away from those thoughts of guilt and shame. So no, you don't have anybody blocking you. You have legacy, you have purpose. There are people around you who support you. There's actually increase waiting on you. I don't know if you have a 9 to 5 client one, or if you have your own business, but there's going to be a change coming your way where it's either you are moving departments, moving businesses, like where you work, or inviting more collaborations. But you got to release this ego. You got to release the guilt and shame. Yeah, that's what I have. Anything else, Spirit? Spirit said, that's all. You said all you know, client one. It's time to go. Thank you for trusting me with your energy. Have a good night. All right, let's go on to client two. Let's see. Let me get my stuff. Move this over here. All right, going on to client two. Okay, hey, client two. Let me get your timestamp together. All right, where are we? 21. All right. Hey, client two, how are you? Client two, let's see. You said you met someone at a New Year's Eve party and you seem to hit it off with them. You've been texting them almost daily since. Okay. You're looking for a serious long-term relationship with someone who compliments you. Very nice. And you don't want to waste your time with anyone who's not in the same book, on the same page, in the same paragraph, or in the same sentence as you. I get it. Me neither. I hear you. What is this person's intentions with you? Okay. All right. Client two. What is client two met somebody at a New Year's Eve party that they hit it off with? What is this person's intentions with client two? What is this person's intentions with client two? I like the fact you were like, I ain't trying to waste my time with anybody who is not in the same book, on the same page, in the same paragraph, or in the same sentence. You know what? That's a word right there, as they say in church. That's a word. Okay. What is the intentions of the person that client two met at the New Year's Eve party? What are their intentions with client two? What are their intentions with client two? What is the intentions of the person client two met at the New Year's Eve party? What are the intentions of the person client two met at the New Year's Eve party? Okay. All right, client two, here we go. We have the 9 of Wands. We have the Star. Ooh. We have the King of Wands. Interesting, client two. Interesting. At the bottom of the deck, King of Cups. Okay, client two, we got two kings out here. Got two kings out here. So, okay, we don't have any biological sex or gender identity of you or this person, and that's okay. But what I'm getting is that there is somebody else in their energy, client two, So you're not the only one. And I mean, that's okay. Y'all aren't, serious. You just met them last week. So that's cool. But this is somebody who's been through a lot in relationships with the 9 of Wands here. But I feel like they are hopeful. They're hopeful with the interactions that you have together. They are attracted to you. They definitely are. With the King of Wands, there's definitely that sexual energy going on. But with the star here, they hope that something can come from it. They hope something can come from it. But what I want to do is clarify the 9 of Wands. Clarify the star. Let's clarify the star. Clarify the star for us, please, for client 2. We have the 8 of Wands. They like talking to you a lot, and they would actually, client 2, talk to you a whole lot more. But but they want to take it slow. They want to take it slow. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 9 of Pentacles. They definitely want to take it slow to get to know you. But you both have, I can see you talk a lot. I feel like they would talk to you first thing in the morning if they could, like right when you wake up. But they are being very, very intentional about how they move throughout this because of what they've been through. What else? What else regarding this person's intentions towards client 2? What else regarding this person's intentions towards client 2? We got the 3 of Swords or the 3 of Arrows, 5 of Cups, and the World. Yeah. I knew there was somebody else in their energy. The King of Wands showed up. So they're just getting out of something. Like, this is fresh. Fresh. Like at the bottom of the deck is the 4 of Swords or the 4 of Arrows. They are really not trying to rush anything at all. Yeah, we have, again, the 3 of Arrows, the 5 of Cups, and the World. This relationship that they were in, it literally just ended. It literally just ended. Whoever they were with just went cold on them. I mean, it feels like they really just ghosted them. And it's somebody that they had been with for a hot minute. It wasn't like it was a whirlwind or an infatuation. This is somebody that they had. This was a serious relationship they were in. So it makes sense that they are moving slowly to get to know you, although they want to get to know you better and talk to you, because it seems like you have a lot in common with them, just through your interaction, although not a lot. This person has been through, they were like, in a way, rejected. They were rejected by whoever they were with. And they, like I said, they were with them for a long time. They were with them for a hot minute. And then all of a sudden, all of a sudden, I'll say that. To them, all of a sudden, Boo Thing just dropped them. Like a hot potato. I swear, that's some shit. Go to other deck. All right. Let's see what their thoughts are about you, client 2. And then we'll get some advice and I'll let you go. The person that client 2 met on New Year's Eve. What are their thoughts towards client 2? What are the thoughts that the person has towards client 2? The person that client 2 met on New Year's Eve. What are the thoughts that this person has towards client 2? What are the thoughts that this person has towards client 2? Okay, last time. What are the thoughts that this person has towards client 2? What are the thoughts that the person that client 2 met on New Year's Eve have towards them? What are the thoughts does the person that client 2 met on New Year's Eve have towards client 2? How do they feel about client 2? Ooh, okay, client 2. This person already thinks y'all are equally yoked and aligned. What in the world y'all talking about? Y'all have been talking since New Year's Eve. What kind of conversations y'all having? I like that. I mean, it's early, but who am I to judge? Go with it. But they are still moving slowly. They're being intentional about how slowly they're moving. They think that they are doing the absolute most. Doing the absolute most to try to get to know you. It's almost like I said, they want to talk to you even more, but they're being intentional about how fast they're going, which is very slow. But it makes sense given what they've just been through. What else? What else, Spirit? They are tired of going in circles. I see why that's one reason why this star is out here. Because they're hoping that you are somebody that can help them break the cycle. You know, it seems like they were being used. I know this card that came out, it says, I'm using you, but this is what they've been through. This is what Spirit is saying. They were being used. That's why the person they were with just dropped them. Wow. But yeah, be careful. You don't want to get caught up, client 2, in that role where you're just somebody's rebound. So, you want to be intentional about how you move too. So what's the advice here? Oh, yeah, that's the advice. Be careful about not getting caught up and being somebody's, because if you are looking for something that's long-term, be careful about being caught up in somebody's rebound situation, because that's not what you want. So you need to be just as intentional as this person is. Okay? Is that it, Spirit? That's it. That's all, client 2. When you said all you know, it's time to go. All right. Thank you for trusting me with your energy. All right, let's move on. Move on to client 3. Client 3. Let me see where I put this. Put this right here. Client 3 has a yes or no question. Put this right here. All right. Let me get my timestamp together, client 3, and we'll get started with your question. All right, so we are at 35, 50. All right. Hey, client 3. Hey, thank you for booking with me. You have one yes or no question, and that question is, will you get into the radiography program at your school this fall? Okay, let's see. Will client 3 get into the radiography program at their school this fall? Ooh, I do not miss school, but it looks good on you, client 3. It looks good on you. Will client 3 get into the radiography program at their school this fall? Will client 3 get into the radiography program at their school this fall? Okay. Will client 3 get into the radiography school program at their school this fall? Will client 3 get into the radiography program at their school this fall? Client 3, if you are new to my yes and no questions, I pulled 3 cards. The first one says maybe. The second one says yes. And the third one says yes. All right. Congratulations in advance. Listen, the Emperor is at the bottom of the deck, client 3. That's another yes. You have to be disciplined. This is not one of those programs. Okay. I'm not trying to throw shade. But this isn't like majoring in, English or something like that. Not saying that English isn't difficult, but this is something that you really have to be disciplined on. You really have to focus and study. Like they don't fuck around in this program. You got the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. But yes, you are definitely going to get in. We got the 10 of Cups, the Hierophant, and Strength. So you have to pull it all together, you know? Gather some folks around. I feel like y'all are going to be a tight little cohort too. Whoever is in the program with you that enters at the same time. Y'all going to be a tight little cohort. But yeah, that's what we got here, client 3. That's it. That's all. We said all you know. It's time to go. Thank you for trusting me with your energy, client 3. All right. Let's move on to client 4. You know what? Let me check my emails to make sure we haven't received any additional emails while I've been reading other clients. All right, we're good. Okay. All right, let's go. Client 4. Client 4 has 2 questions. Give me 1 second, client 4. Hey to everybody in the room. If you would like a personal reading, the list is open. Read the description box to get one. I hope y'all are having a good new year so far. All right, client 4. Let me get your timestamp together. All right. 39, 58. All All right. Hey, client 4. Hey, how you feeling? Thank you for booking with me. You have 2 questions. All right. So you said, I've been working at the same company for 5 years, and a management position in my department opened because someone is retiring. Okay. I was passed up on a different leadership position last year in the same department, but I'm thinking about applying for this one. So your first question is, how likely is it that you'll get this position? Okay. All right, let's find out. All right, well, client 4, get the position, this leadership position if they apply. Well, client 4, get the leadership position if they apply. Well, client 4, get the leadership position if they apply. Let's see. Client 4, get the leadership position if they apply. All right, client 4. Well, client 4, get the leadership position if they apply. First card, client 4, is a yes. Second card, client 4, is a yes. Oh, shit. And the third card is a yes. Yeah. Yep. If you apply, client 4, you will get this position. We got the star here. Wish fulfillment. I'm just saying. And not only that, but we also have this increase, this big ass bump in pay right here. And just have grace with yourself, because this is a leadership position, and things, I don't know if you are, I feel like you're probably not in leadership right now, but it's a different way of thinking when you step into management. From a worker bee to management, it's a whole different way of thinking. So definitely have patience with yourself and ask questions, take notes. And you've manifested this. This is something that you have manifested. That's the bottom of the deck right there. That's the bottom of the deck. Yeah. So yeah, that's the answer. Yeah. That's the likeliness that you're gonna get. Let me see what your second question is, and we'll go from there. If it's not likely, what is Spirit's advice on how to move forward? Well, it is very likely, but we'll get advice anyway. We'll get more advice, because also in management, there can be some funny people up in there. So what we'll ask is there anything you should look out for? What should client 4 look out for with this position? What should client 4 be aware of with this position? What should client 4 be aware of with getting this position? Oh yeah, this is going to be a really big bump in pay too. Really big. What should client 4 be aware of with getting this new position? What should client 4 be aware of with getting this new position? Okay. And you're going to be watched, client 4. They're going to watch you closely. What should client 4 be aware of with getting this new position? They're going to watch you pretty closely to make sure you can handle it. We have the World. Six of Wands, Temperance. Bottom of the deck is the Six of Arrows or the Six of Swords. Huh. Interesting. Like this is going to actually open the door for a whole new opportunity for you, this position here. You are either going to be you're going to be either leaving the company or leaving the department. Once you get the position and you gain a little bit of experience, you're going to be out. You're going to piece these folks out. How apropos. That is so appropriate. It's hilarious because you, like you said in your background, and you said that you've been there for 5 years and you were passed up on a previous management position. So while they're watching you closely, you're going to go get up in there. That's crazy. You're going to get up in there. You're going to show out. You're going to show out with the Six of Wands here. And then you're going to be out. It's like you're going to find balance somewhere else. I feel like somebody's going to poach you though, which is interesting because like you said, you were passed up, but then you get into this position and you're like sweet meat. You you the shit. You the one that they trying to hire. And it looks like it's because you are going to end up, I feel like people are going to like you. Like if you have direct reports, they're going to like you. They're going to work harder for you. The people that you are colleagues with, you are like on the same management level and leadership and higher, they're going to kind of like you too. But they're going to see the things that you can do. I'm getting that you'll probably be in this position for about 2 years and then you'll move on. You'll move on. You'll get exactly what you need to move on. Yeah, that's awesome. What's the advice? What's the advice for client 4? Congratulations. What's the advice for client 4? Like, seriously. I mean, it makes sense because look, if this is a big company, a large company, those companies aren't loyal. They're not loyal at all, but they definitely expect loyalty. I'm just saying. I love it. This is an awesome reading. Advice for client 4. Advice for client 4. What's the advice for client 4, please? I love this. What's the advice for client 4? Advice for client 4, please. Seven of Wands. Five of Arrows or Five of Swords. Page of Arrows. Page of Swords. The Page of Swords came out again. And look, client 4, this is a wolf. They're telling you to be careful. Be careful, be mindful. Because like I said, you are going to be watched. You are going to be watched. And at the bottom of the deck here, we got Page of Cups. There are going to be some people, this offer is coming. If you apply, there are going to be some people that like you. Definitely. There are going to be some people that pretend to like you. I mean, because look, we got right here, like this is a whole ass crab holding a chalice. Like, where they do that at, first of all? And secondly, you know, I'm hearing crabs in a barrel. There are going to be some people who really don't want to see you do well. They feel like their lives will be better if you sucked at your job. Okay. If you spent so much time worrying about the wrong thing, maybe you can get your job done. Just saying. But yeah, Spirit is saying Seven of Wands, Five of Swords, Five of Arrows, Page of Arrows. There is there's a way to stand your ground and to take up for yourself. And it's one of those situations when you're in management, and there's certain ways to say things. People say nice, nasty, or nicety things in email all the time. And you have to play that game. You have to play that game. Because there are going to be people who are going to try to sabotage you on purpose. Like, I don't know if this is a badger, but you got wolves and badgers watching you. And crabs. Let's not forget about the crab. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you are documenting everything. I've been in multiple industries, and one theme that rings true throughout: if it isn't written, it didn't happen. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. Yeah. But definitely be careful of who you have in your inner circle, if you have one at work. And Spirit is telling me that this refers to the people that you're leaving behind. Does that make sense? And if it doesn't, I'll break it down for you. Basically, you won't be able to hang out and talk to the people that you're leaving at resource level. That's kind of what they call the worker bees, the resources. So you won't be able to hang out and talk to the resources like you used to when you were a resource. This is something completely different now. And you're going to have people watching you at all levels. And there are going to be some people that you talk to, you hang tight with at the resource level, who are going to be the ones that kind of want to see your downfall, for real. It's unfortunate, but That is the story. That's what I see. But either way, congratulations, client 4. That's it. That's all. And when you said all you know, it's time to go. Thank you for trusting me with your energy. Client 4, congratulations. Shoot me an email and let me know how it goes. That's all I'm saying. Holla, holla. All right. We got one more client. And before we move on, I'm going to check one more time to see. Okay. All right. All right, client 5. Client 5. Let me get your timestamp going here. Okay. All right. Hey, client 5. Hey, how you feeling? Thank you for booking with me. You have 3 questions here. All right. So client 5 says, last March, my friend L, with the initial L, lost her job in April. She came to me to borrow money for bills so she wouldn't lose her home. She's my friend of almost 15 years, so I lent her $5,000. Let me clarify, you a good ass friend. Just saying. Let's just get that out the way. She got a new job that pays her better than the last one in August. Okay. She started paying me back in October as agreed, but that was the first and last payment you saw. Okay. She's been avoiding you, short with texts, ignoring calls. You can't get a hold of her. You're considering filing a small claims lawsuit, but if there's a chance to save your friendship, then you won't. You love her dearly, but you really don't know what to do. Oh, yeah. Oh, my heart goes out to you, client 5. I hate that. But let's go to the cards. Okay, your first question is, how does your friend feel about you? Go to these right here. Okay. Let's start off with the Oracle, client 5, and go from there. How does client 5's friend feel about them? The friend that they loaned $5,000 to. How does client 5's friend feel about them? This is the friend that they loaned $5,000. How does client 5's friend feel about them? But yeah, you are a good friend. And it makes sense. Y'all have been friends for a long time that you want to try to salvage the relationship. Okay. How does client 5's friend feel about them? This is a friend that they loaned $5,000. All right. How does client 5's friend feel about them? This is a friend that they loaned $5,000 to. How does client 5's friend feel about them? Well, they like you and they still want to be friends. What else? What else for client 5? How does a friend feel about them? How does client 5's friend feel about them? Which one? Okay. So it seems they want to stick around. Leaving is not on their to-do list. It's interesting because they're avoiding you. How does client 5's friend feel about them? They see you as, again, I don't know what your gender identity is or your biological sex, but they see you as, an empress, emperor, or ruler. If you're non-binary, you are somebody who is abundant. You take care of people. You have enough. You have more than enough. You run shit. You run shit. Anything else? Nothing else with that, but let's go to the tarot here. Let's go to the tarot here, because what's interesting is that all of these are positive, but your friend is still avoiding you. Yeah. So I want to ask, how does client 5's friend feel about them really? How does client 5's friend feel about them? Okay. They want me to go to this deck. Another oracle, client 5. Pardon me. All right. How does client 5's friend, whom they loaned $5,000, feel about them? How does client 5's friend, whom they loaned $5,000, feel about them? Getting a lot of resistance for these cards. It's crazy. I'm going to cut. How does client 5's friend feel about them? The friend that they loaned $5,000. All right. How does client 5's friend feel about them? This is the friend they loaned $5,000. How does client 5's friend feel about them? How does client 5's friend feel about them? We got toxic love, pain disguised as passion, addictive patterns, harmful attachment, can't live without. They have, this is a pattern for them. And their attachment to you is, it's kind of fucked up, client 5. Because remember, they see you as the empress or emperor or ruler. They feel like you got it. They feel like you got it. Why that entitles them to what you have, I don't know. But yeah, what else? What else, Spirit? But at the same time, that's weird. It's that weird attachment style, like avoidant. Ugh. Divine intervention came out. Unexpected guidance, universe stepping in, redirected paths, saved just in time. Also, self-made came out. Like I said, they see you as emperor, empress, ruler. They see you as somebody who is successful, and you brought yourself up from the dirt. You built yourself up from nothing. And they see that your loaning them $5,000 was like divine intervention. But at the same time, this whole situation is divine intervention for you. It's allowing you to see who this person is. Anything else in this deck? What else for client 5? What else for client 5 regarding their friend? Ooh. Okay. Oop. Here we go. Oh, gosh. All of them came down. Broken promises. Broken promises came out. Disappointed expectations, failed commitments, lost in trust. Words mean nothing. Wow. How appropriate, right? Since this person owes you $5,000. What else came out? Fake flex. They used your money a little bit for the bills. You helped them out. But all that money didn't go to the bills. And now that they have a new job and they're doing well, that's what they're doing. They're flexing on them hoes. They doing what they want to. They're not really, it seems like they aren't worried about what is going to happen to your friendship because of it. What also came out? No filter. Speaking your truth, authentic communication, raw honesty. This is how I really feel. They're showing you exactly how they really feel. They said all these things, they're going to keep you around because you are somebody that's going to take care of them. That's why this leaving is not on my to-do list came out. It's not because, they want to, be friends, like be friends, be real friends with you. It's because of what you can do for them. You can help them out. And I don't know. A question that's coming up for me to you, client number 5, is if this is the first time and only time that you've ever helped them out. How many times have you saved them? How many times have you saved them? Let's go on to your next question. Move this out the way. Your next question, client 5, is she ever going to pay me back? Is she ever going to pay you back? Is client 5's friend ever going to pay them back? Is client 5's friend ever going to pay them back? Is client 5's friend ever going to pay them back? Client 5, since this is a yes or no question, I'm going to pull 3 cards and we'll go from there. Okay. Is client 5's friend ever going to pay them back? Is client 5's friend ever going to pay them back? We have a maybe with the Hanged Man. We have a no with the Four of Pentacles. Wow. Now that's apropos, you know. And then a no. Your friend has no intention, you know, and this laid right on broken promises too. They have no intention of paying you back. You know, this is somebody, again, this is evidence, this Knight of Wands, evidence of somebody who fake flexes. This is like all Knight of Wands energy, this fake flex right here. This is somebody who is just frivolous with their spending. They got this new job, they had this come up, and now it's all about them. And they see that with this Hanged Man energy here, they see your sacrifice. They saw what you did for them. They saw what you did for them. And still holding on to their money, holding on to your money like it's theirs. That's okay though. That's okay, because the Tower came out too. Like I said, this is a lesson for you, and they're going to get a lesson as well. They're going to get a lesson as well, because the Tower is a selfish energy too. It's somebody who has like, it's ego, it's hubris, and that's exactly what's going on here. That's exactly what's going on here. So yeah, this person wants to keep you around. And I don't know how many times you saved them before, and maybe it was with less money. So you probably weren't missing it, which is why, you know, that's what I'm kind of getting here. This is why they see you as the emperor, empress, or ruler, because it's like, oh, she got it. She ain't missing it. Even though there was an agreement, as you said in your backstory, there was agreement for them to pay you back. And they started to pay you. Let me go on to this next question. I'll get my feelings out of this shit. Your last question is, how does your spirit team want you to move forward in this situation? All right, let's go to tarot for this. All right. What's the advice from clients 5 spirit team regarding this situation? Advice from client 5 spirit team, benevolent spirit team, regarding this situation. What's the advice from client 5's benevolent spirit team regarding this situation? What is the advice from client 5's benevolent spirit team regarding this situation? What's the advice from client 5 spirit team regarding this situation? We have the 8 of Wands, 7 of Arrows, or the 7 of Swords. We have the Knight of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we got the 8 of Pentacles. You really have to be strategic and sneaky and cunning in how you talk to her and how you move about her in order to get your money back. Because this Knight of Pentacles here, it's gonna be a slow, it's gonna be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing, but no, it's going to be a slow process in reclaiming all of that cash. However, and it's going to take some work to do it, but you can do it. You just have to be smarter than her. Can you clarify the Seven of Wands? I mean, gosh, not Seven of Wands, Seven of Arrows. Clarify the Seven of Arrows, please. Got the Two of Cups. Strength. And at the bottom of the deck here, we got the Six of Pentacles. This is all about that money. To get your money back, you kind of have to act like it doesn't bother you. Act like you're unbothered. Like y'all cool. But you see how that little mouse got that lion's mouth tied the fuck up? You the mouse. She's the lion. Don't let her know, like, be overtly, don't be overt about your anger or your need to have your money back in your pocket. This is going to be one of those things where you have to kind of trick her into paying you back like she's not paying you back. For example, if you are, because again, she, like you said, she has this new job and she's making more money. It's one of those things like, can I borrow $50 to put gas in my car? Like that. If that is how you want to move about it. But again, $50 here, $50 there, that's going to be some slow, it's going to be some slow recuperating, like recouping your cash. But if that's what you want to do, that's one of your choices here. And it feels like your spirit team kind of wants you to do that in a way. Get some of it. It's almost like she's more willing to pay you if you act like nothing is wrong. If you forget about it. That old adage, you can win more flies with honey. Yeah. What else about this situation from her spirit team? What else about this situation? Three of Wands. Ooh. Anything else? Also, move on. It's time to move on. It's time to, damn. They really, your spirit team really wants you to move on. At the bottom of the deck, like, make plans to move on. Make plans to get different friends. Like, she ain't it. She ain't it. There are other people around who are better friends than this person. What's behind this Two of Wands? Yeah. You'll find these folks, and you can actually, invest in them, your time, your energy, Probably even some money. I don't suggest that, but you can invest in these people. But she ain't it. And your life will probably be a lot more joyous without her in it. I know you'd be richer. Your spirit folks, your spirit team says that too. That you'd be richer without her in your life. Yeah. So people. I tell you, people. People will people. Is there anything else on that one, Spirit? Nope. There's nothing else on that one, Client 5. I wish you well. Seems like your spirit team wants you to recoup as much as you can from her before you move all the way on. All right. I hate that happened to you, but I wish you well going forward. When you said all you know, it's time to go, Client 5. Let me check one more time. C. Let's see here. All right. That's it. Thank you to everybody who participated in the personal reading session, live session. Thank you for those who just came through and watched. Happy New Year to you all, regardless of how you chose to participate. Until next time, y'all. Bye.